Hi, welcome to my contour tutorial. Today I'm going to show you in high definition, which I couldn't do last time because I have a new camera. Yay! I'm going to show you how to contour and highlight your face. I'm also going to show you another technique that's used in the drag world, and that's called cooking/baking. People call it different things. I'm just going to call it setting today. I'm going to show you how to really set that under eye area and all these areas that you highlight down the nose, the chin if you do that, under the eyes, all those areas. I'm going to show you exactly how to set that properly and really give you that heavy, defined, contoured look. So here we go. Right, first of all, I've used this product here. This is Benefits Pore Professional. You have to excuse how dirty this is because it's been in my makeup bag, but this is fantastic. You apply it on your areas that have got really open pores, and it just fills those. It really is a miracle product. Another good primer that I often use is this Smashbox Photo Finish. This is another really good primer for underneath your foundation. So to save time, I've already done that. Now the first thing I'm going to do is apply my foundation. Now this probably isn't the right colour for me at the minute because it's quite yellow. This is MAC Studio Fix Fluid in NC35. It is a little bit yellow for me, but I have got fake tan on my body, and my usual one, which is the Estee Lauder Double Wear, is a little bit too pale for me. So I'm going to be putting this one on today. So I'm using this brush. This is the foundation brush from the Fierce Face set. This is a foundation brush, so this is fantastic for applying that foundation all over your face. So I'm going to start off with the areas that I feel I've got they need the most coverage. So that's my nose, my cheeks. I told you it's really orange, yellow, this foundation. So just applying it, I apply it directly onto the brush in circular motions, not forgetting your neck. It looks so weird when this goes on because it's really goes on really yellow, but that's not a problem because what I'm going to be doing is applying the highlight and contour, which will take a lot of that yellow tone out. So the best thing to do is just to go into a store and get matched up properly. I actually think I bought this one by mistake. I don't think I was meant to buy this colour, but it's fine. So once you feel that you've got a good enough coverage with that, the next thing I'm going to be doing, which I do, it's not a necessity, but I really like that full coverage on my face. So I'm going to be using this. This is MAC Full Coverage Foundation. I think this is an NW25. So now what I do with this is really similar to the little concealers you get. I'll show you which ones, these ones from MAC. It's a really similar consistency. It's just slightly different. So I'm going to be using that, and I use that in the areas. A lot of people ask me how I cover my pores, and this is how I literally use this brush. This again is another Fierce Face foundation brush, and this is more of a flat brush, but it's kind of quite chunky as well, so it really gets in those pores and helps to disguise those. So I kind of just use this on this area of my face. Again, this is quite good with my yellow foundation problem because this is going to take a lot of that out. I get open pores in my cheeks as well, so it's great there. And I get some here. And always remember to do around your nose as well, because sometimes it's easy to forget there. And my chin. Like, this is a really heavy coverage that I'm doing. This is what I'd usually do for a night out or like a photo shoot or an event or something like that. I kind of am using this as well, like I said, to just take out that yellow tone. Now when you feel that looks sort of even and you have that coverage that you want on your face, the next thing you need to do, which is the fun part, This is MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I find this is the best thing to use for under eyes because it doesn't go too oily, and it goes on really well, and it helps you give that really highlighted light look. I'm using this in an NC20. Now the other thing I use for this as well, my tool, is one of these. This is a beauty blender. This is a little bit, it's only because I was doing a tutorial earlier, and you need to use this a little bit damp. So I'm going to put a blob of the Pro Longwear onto my hands, like so. And using the beauty blender, you're going to go under here. So the area that you're wanting to cover, shouldn't really cut it on my nose, the area that you're wanting to cover is down here and up. So you're kind of working in a triangle down to there and then up here. So you're keeping it above your cheekbone. So my cheekbone's there. Anything that you're going to highlight is going to pop out at the camera more. So using your blue, you're just dabbing it gently like so, and you can also, with clean hands, you can use your fingers in those just to help get that right in there. This is a great tool as well. This is a concealer brush from the Fierce Face brush set, and I use that just to get those areas, because you've probably noticed, hopefully, that I've already done my eye makeup. This is the way I always do my makeup. I do my eyes first, and I've only been doing that for like the past 2 months, but I do my eyes first and then I go and do my foundation, highlight and contour. I just find it gives like a, you know, just like a cleaner look. It just really gives you that flawless look. So that's what we're doing there. So when you've done both your under eye areas, I then go on to doing this area here. So what I kind of imagine is like a little tree. So I'm going up here, around there, just in that centre area, and then down the nose. The secret with your nose, if you've got quite a wide nose and you're wanting to make it look thinner, then you need to make this line that you're highlighting down here needs to be quite narrow, and then you're going to use your contour to bring it in, which is what I have really. My nose is quite uneven as well, so I do really thin line there, and then I more sort of contour this area here. If you want to widen your nose, obviously you're going to do that centre bit a little bit wider, because it's going to give the illusion of a wider nose. This is also where this concealer brush comes in handy as well, because you don't want to mess your brows or any of your other makeup up. So this is really handy just to get in those, and it's really handy for down the nose as well. So when you feel you've highlighted that area properly, you can then go on to around your mouth and your chin. And you can also do these areas here just by obviously dabbing a small amount on, but I like my jaw to look more slimmer, only because I've got short hair and I don't want to look too bottom heavy on my face. And also I find that my chin looks quite big in some photos, so I don't really like to highlight my chin. I prefer to bring my contour up slightly just to set that back a little bit. But with your lips you can just highlight like so. You don't need too much on your lips, these outside corners. And you can do your chin a little bit, but really do that. I tend to leave this area out as well with the lips, because in my lip tutorial it shows you that I like to add a little bit of lip liner just here, extra, just to give that kind of fullness on the bottom of the lips. So I'm not wanting to highlight this area here. So once you feel you've totally highlighted all the areas that you want, then you need to move on to your contour. Now I'm going to show you how to do it with a cream contour and then set it with a powder contour as well, just because I wanted to do a fully comprehensive tutorial today and show you exactly how to get the most kind of contoured look you can. Now I'm using this is a sleek, it's actually a CC cream, because I've only just gone on to like doing the cream contour myself. I've always just done it with powders. So again, this probably isn't quite the right colour for me. I would recommend the sleek contour kits are really good. Also, these MAC concealers. These ones are the Studio Finish concealers. You can get these in really dark colours as well. They're fantastic to contour with, because they're just nice and creamy and they're really easy to blend. So I'm going to put a little bit of this onto my hand. So I've put some of this onto my hand here, and now I'm going to contour. So I'm going to use another foundation, another brush from the First Face set. This is just a little kind of flat brush. So I'm going to take it under here. So with the contour again, you're finding your cheekbone and you're taking it just underneath. So once you've done both sides with that, you can take another brush. This is again from the First Face brush set. These are on firstfaceonline.co.uk and they're fantastic brushes. They're actually going to be launching sort of end of May, so in about 2 weeks time, 2015, just in case you're watching this in a year, they will hopefully already be very, very well known. So I'm going to use this brush just to really buff that in there. These brushes are absolutely fantastic, and the great thing about it is they're in a set of 29, so literally I've aimed to get every single brush possible that you could ever need to do your makeup, and they're very good dupes for a lot of the big brands that are out at the minute, and they are a fraction of the price. So I definitely recommend investing in these, because I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of the products I do use are things like Sleek, Number 7, things like that. If you have the right tools, then you can really work those products well and get a really kind of high-end look. So I've blended that in there. Now the next area I do, and you can keep working with this brush actually. Now the next area I'm going to do is around my forehead. I have an exceptionally large forehead, as it's been pointed out many times. Thank you. So I'm going to show you how I try and sort of bring that in here and make it look smaller. So right, I'll move see how big it is. I have to be careful, which is why I wear this, because I've just gone really blonde with my hair and I don't want to. So you're working this right around your hairline. I am trying to be careful with my hair around there. So this is what I do here. This is actually quite a warm based contour. It's better not to use something that's so warm based, because it's kind of gives a better contoured shadow look if it's probably a little bit greyer in tone. So I'm just showing you how to do it though. So that blends really, really well there. You can see. Now the next thing I do with this is apply some just under my jawline here. Be quite careful that you don't get a stripe, but I do take it onto my chin a little bit just to kind of, that shadow gives the illusion of a smaller chin. I'll just take it right around the back as well, now I've got short hair. Like so. We're getting there. Now the next thing, another brush from the famous brush set, is this one. Now this is another face brush, and this is really, really good just to get those lines down the sides of the nose. So what I'm doing here, to try and slim my nose down, just taking it down, and then down here as well onto the tip. See, it looks slimmer already, but I'm not going to walk out like that, don't worry. Now I'd use another brush from the set just to really blend that in, because there's nothing worse than seeing someone with stripes down their nose. You're taking that, you just try not to take it onto the highlighted area too much. You wanting to I haven't got my lights yet, so it's quite difficult because it's casting shadows and it's not really doing it as much justice. So now you've done all that and you have your like liquid kind of creamy contour on, the next thing you're going to do is to set it, which is the cooking / baking technique. We're just going to call it setting just because it's easier. So this is what I'm going to use to set the highlighting areas. This is the Nye Luxury Banana Powder. This is fantastic. From what I've heard, I think Kim Kardashian uses this. It's a really good product. I bought it on eBay, but you can get it on Amazon. Just make sure that you are buying the real thing and not some dodgy copy, because that's never good. Now then, so you're going to be taking your Nye powder. I'm going to use a beauty blender to get this on, but you can use like brushes and things like that. But what you're trying to do is just, you're not blending it in, you're going to let it so the powder really sits there, just sits, and I'll tell you why in a second. So all those areas that you've highlighted before with your MAC concealer or whatever concealer you decided to use, you're going to be just placing this on top, just so it's, you know, you don't want to use amounts that are too small because it's not going to have the right effect. Just make sure you're not getting it on those contour areas. That's why I absolutely love this Nye, because it's in such a big tub that, you know, you're not spending stupid amounts for a tiny little pot. So it's great. Now, once that's on and you look really, really weird, this is usually the time that my friends turn up and answer the door like this. Once that's on, now you need to leave that for 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. So just, if you're going out, do whatever you've got to do, have a drink, go and sort your clothes out, do whatever. This is really important because what this does now, I don't know how, I don't know why, but all I know is that it really sets and like fuses in with your concealer, and you'll really notice a difference when I show you how to take it off. It just kind of like, it must just go in and just set. Like, it's really, it's such a good technique, and this is what a lot of drag queens use. So, you know, it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us, because they look fabulous. So I'm going to leave this for 10 minutes and then I'm going to come back and show you the next steps. I'm back. Just went and made a cup of tea. Right, so that's been on for about 10-15 minutes now. So the next thing I'm going to do is to remove it. Now just take a brush and simply brush that away. And what you'll find is a lot of that powder is like set and stays, so you'll brush it off and you'll feel like there's not actually that much coming off. This is a great way to keep your makeup on all night as well. It gives you that really flawless matte look. Like so. See the difference? Now the next thing we're going to do is your powder contour. Now this not only will kind of set and stick to that cream contour that we've already done, and it will also add depth, because at the moment I'm looking quite highlighted and not very contoured. So the product I'm going to use for this is the Sleek Cosmetics Sleek Makeup Contour Kit, and I'm using the dark side of that, and this is actually in colour light. Usually I would probably go a little bit darker, but I'm going to show you with this one, and it's also actually the daytime and I don't want to go around looking like I'm fully contoured in the day. I'm going to take another brush from the actually this brush from the Fierce Face set. This is goat hair, and this is the most amazing brush it's angled, so it's really great for cheekbones, your temples and all around here. I absolutely love this brush. So I'm going to go over those areas that we did earlier. You can see like you hardly need any, and this brush really gets that product on perfectly. Some brushes I feel like you put it on the brush and it doesn't hardly put anything on your face. I don't know where it goes, the brush must eat it. So we've got a nice even look. So the next area would be around the head. The massive head of mine. It requires a lot of contour. And this is great because this powder, obviously the areas, if you are really blonde like me and you don't want to get it too much in your hairline, the powder will just hide any areas that you may have missed. So now down the side of the nose, I'm using a lot more of a thinner brush, and I'm going to go over those areas. I don't usually do my nose too much. Like, don't do your nose just for the sake of doing your nose because it's what people on YouTube do, or Instagram, or Kim Kardashian, because if you don't need it, there's no point. Like, if I could get away with not doing it totally, then I wouldn't at all. But I do it a little bit just to try and just slender the tip of my nose. A little bit like that. It's actually casting a couple of shadows, but it does look really good in person. You can take that up here as well. And again, if you want to go over the centre of your nose again, you can just put a little bit, not too much, just lighten that again. I have got a really wonky nose. Right, now under your chin, you're going to take a big, kind of like a big powder brush like this. You're going to just go over that. And again, it really evens out where you may have put that cream contour. And you can take that right down here. And then what I'll do with my large brush, like a blusher brush, is kind of soften these areas here, because you don't want to go out looking like overly contoured. Depends, some people do. So that's that. cheeks, I'm going to use, I mentioned this in a tutorial before, this is Desert Rose by MAC, and this is my favourite MAC blusher just because it's a really all-round colour and it's matte, and I always use a matte blusher and then I'll highlight with a separate product on top just because I don't want my full cheeks highlighted and I don't really like that look. I like a matte product on my cheeks and then my highlight up here. So this is this colour. You'll have to excuse like the contour stuff all over my hands. So I'm going to take a blusher brush, which will be this one. Don't need too much of that. Just smile and you're just doing the apples of your cheeks, and that blends in. That you see there, it's like quite harsh. That really like blends it all in together. So now on top of that, my favourite product is MAC Global Glow. This is Mineralise. It's a highlighter and it is literally the most amazing thing. You can also scrape it off and add it to cream to make a cream highlight, but obviously because I've used a lot of powders today, I'm going to use the powder. And here's the product here. It's like amazing, really shimmery. I'm going to use a small brush for this, and this brush is fantastic because it's kind of like an almond shape, and you can just sit it along your cheeks there. And I just get on my cheekbones. See, it gives a really nice glow on there. Absolutely love this product. So that's kind of it really. You can use if you want to highlight down your nose, you can. I'll show you how to do that. This is High Beam by Benefit. I don't usually like using really pinky based highlighters, but this one's quite cute. So I just put a little bit on my hands and then using my finger, just take that down on the tip and down the centre of your nose. And you can take it up here if you want. I don't usually do that myself. I don't like too much highlight on my face. So you take it down there. So I'm gonna put my lips on and then I'll come back. So there you have it. I've added some red lips and that's the finished look. I hope you like it. Please leave your comments, and also if there's any requests, I would absolutely love to see them.